Welcome to Seattle College's international programs and our show Conversations With, where we talk to people that help you understand how you too can be an international student in the United States and why Seattle Colleges should be your first choice. We'll talk to students and staff and agents and government folks, all kinds of people about what you can expect when you're getting ready to apply or travel here, what you'll experience while you're with us, and how it can all lead to an amazing life. Don't forget to check out the Seattle College's International Programs website at intl.seattlecolleges.edu, where you can find a treasure trove of information about the school, the programs here, and best of all, fill out and submit your application. Again, that's intl.seattlecolleges.edu. Hey everybody, welcome back to Seattle College's Conversations With. It's a Wednesday. What? Here at Seattle Central today, I've got a special guest. Very special because this is our first university, college university, from outside the Northwest region. From California. Paolo, welcome. You want to tell everybody who you are and what school you're with? And yeah, let's get into it.
Sounds good. Thanks for the introduction, Evan.
Sure.
So, hello everyone. My name is Paolo and I'm the International Student Counselor at Menlo College. We are a private four-year college in Atherton, California. For those of you who don't know where Atherton is, it's right in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. We are 40 minutes down south of San Francisco, around 6-hour drive from LA, and we specialize in business and psychology.
Nice, yeah. So we met actually on a Zoom call with a group, and we were talking about our schools.
Yeah.
And so he was at a transfer fair here. We do transfer fairs twice a year here at Seattle Colleges, and it's great. You had a table. So
yeah, of course.
Have you been to the transfer fair before?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I've been to this college. This is probably my fourth time now being here. So, yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, we love it that you're here because it gives our students or any community college students, because I know you guys go to other community colleges, gives them a chance to get to know your school and what the options are, widens their world quite a bit. But let's talk about the word college for a second, because you are Menlo College, we're Seattle Colleges, and I think people that are in other countries, in fact, I know it, they get very confused about, well, what's the difference between a college and a university?
Yeah.
I know what I tell them. What do you tell people?
Yeah, I'm glad you actually opened up the discussion to that. So the difference is universities have a wide range of studies that they offer to students and multiple departments as well. So for universities, they might have business department, science department, healthcare department. Whereas Menlo College, which is our school, we're more specialized. We specialize specifically in business and psychology.
Right.
That's why we're considered a college.
Now, I've also heard that one of the slight differences between the two is that universities tend to offer a lot of postgraduate work, whereas colleges don't.
Yes,
do you have postgrad? Do you guys have any master's degree?
We actually do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We just released our first master's degrees about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And we've been around sinst 1927.
Oh, really? That long?
Yep. We've been around for a while.
That's almost 100 years. You're getting ready.
In 3 years, so we're about to hit our 100 years.
Big
our centennial.
Party.
Yeah, big party, definitely.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So, hey, you could start here, transfer there, and then be there for the big party. That would be cool.
Exactly. And our master's programs are also a short master's program, especially our master's in information system. Oh. It's a 1 year, it's a STEM OPT. So you get 3 years of OPT, and it's only 1 year.
Well, we're going to talk about OPT in a minute, but before we get there, I wanted to continue with the college university thing, because what I tell international students is don't worry about it. Just know that in American English, college and university are used almost interchangeably.
True.
We don't focus on it as much as other countries do, like the UK or Australia or whatever. For us, if I say I'm going to go to college next year, I could be going to Menlo College or I could be coming to Seattle Colleges. Just means I'm going to go start my university work. So
True.
I think that's a really great way to do it. You guys do have people do all 4 years there, yeah?
Yes. So we only offer a bachelor's degree and master's degrees.
Yeah.
So usually students stay throughout the 4 years. So they come in
Gotcha.
as a freshman and get out as seniors.
Right. And how many students are on the campus?
On average, we have 800 per year.
Oh, okay.
In the fall of 2024, currently we have 810.
We're talking 810 total. That's domestic and international students.
Yes, that is correct.
So it is pretty small. Do you guys have sports? Or are you guys?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
We are actually a very big athletic school. That's probably one of our personal branding. We're a big athletic school. In fact, 50% of our students are athletes.
What?
Yep.
Are you guys, do you guys travel to other schools to compete?
Yes, a lot.
So Division 1, Division 2, Division 3.
We're D2.
You're D2?
Yeah. So fun fact, we actually got to NCAA just last year.
Oh.
Because throughout, since 1927, we're part of NAIA. But,
Okay.
you know, we've been doing good in terms of recruiting, so we had to step it up, and now we're D2.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in sports, you could definitely consider going to Menlo College.
100%.
Seattle Colleges doesn't have a sports program. There are community colleges out there that do offer sports. Usually walk on. I guess some might do scholarships. Do you guys give scholarships to your athletes?
Yes, we do.
You do.
So the amount of scholarships will depend on how good they are, actually.
Oh.
We have medalists, Olympic medalists who got into our college, got a full ride.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah. We have one person, I believe he's from Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
He actually went to Paris. He did bring home a bronze medal for us. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
What year is he?
I'm not sure, actually. He's quite big. Every time I go to community colleges, I talk to students from Uzbekistan.
Oh, they know.
They know him all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So you could start, I suppose, here and then go and then try to walk on. They have walk-ons.
Yes.
What do you recommend? Like if a student's been thinking about it, do they contact the coaches directly or is there a formal process? Do they contact you?
Oh, that's a good question. So, and this is basing off of what I've seen on campus. I do think, and this applies to other schools as well, if you're trying to walk into a team that's highly competitive, it's always best to make the relationship with coaches first.
Gotcha.
Because these coaches have a list of recruits that they're trying to get into the school.
Oh, okay.
So that will be their first priority. If you're a walk-on, it's probably going to be second priority.
Right.
And the best way to get their attention is to enroll in the school, make relationships with the team, with the coaches, and maybe sneak in a little bit of tryout there.
And be awesome.
Be awesome, yeah, because if you get good team chemistry, if you have good team chemistry, you get along with the team so well, and they see you develop, then yeah, you can get into the team. I've seen it too.
Yeah.
When I was in Menlo, because I went to Menlo College too as a student, I had my friend who's from Germany, and at first he actually did not get into the soccer team. But he still trained with the team, developed good relationship with the coach, and by his junior year, he got in.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah. And that's
the dream.
Exactly. It takes a little bit more resilience, a little bit more effort, and obviously good social skills. You gotta have good team chemistry,
right?
And develop that relationship with the coach.
Can you get I know you guys specialize in business and psychology, but do you have a business of sports or maybe with a business, but with a focus on sports management or something like that?
Yes, we have a major in sports management.
Oh,
actually.
really? Oh,
yes.
very cool. Check it out, guys.
That's what majority of our athletes actually get into.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, let's go back a little bit to your personal story because, we are a community college, and from what I understand, you went to a community college.
I did,
before you went to Menlo.
Yes.
So can you tell everybody about your personal pathway?
Of course, yeah. So it's been a while now. It's been 7 years. So I came. I'm from the Philippines, and I came to
international student as
International student as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So came to California 2017, and at 2017 I enrolled in De Anza College. It's quite a big community college in Cupertino, California. So I was there for 2 years, and just like with majority of college students, during those 2 years, I did not know what I wanted to do.
Right.
Absolutely had no idea. I think I probably switched majors like 3 times.
Sure.
I first was a physics major, but I switched to psychology, and then I switched to marketing. So during my time in De Anza, I played sports too. Played sports. I won the swim team, and I also worked in the international student office. So
That's cool.
Yeah, so I accumulated quite a bit of knowledge on the enrollment prior to having this job. And then my sophomore year in De Anza, I remember how I found out about Menlo, because I was working in the ISP office, and one random day I saw a flyer about Menlo College, and it's talking about a international transfer scholarship. Oh. And during that time, I was in desperate need of a scholarship because I didn't really. I came from a modest background, so I obviously did not have a lot of options. So I could really use a lot of scholarship. And then I took a look at the flyer, and then I saw the point of contact was a person that went to De Anza as well. Oh. I'm like, whoa, I know this person. So, I scanned the QR code, applied, got contacted. And that's how it started. I ended up getting a scholarship because I got pretty lucky because the scholarship I got, there's 3 criteria you have to meet. You have to be an international student, you have to be a transfer student, and you need to be a fall 2019 transfer.
You need to be a what?
A fall 2019 transfer.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So I hit all 3 check marks.
Perfect.
And then I got in.
Wow.
And then a couple months later, I transferred.
So I'm guessing you guys have a big intake in the fall.
Yes, that is correct.
Do you also do a spring intake?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Lots of them, yeah.
Did you start in the fall or the spring?
Fall 2019. Okay. Yeah. So the good thing about private colleges, I think this is what a lot of students are not aware of. You can actually transfer anytime. And transferring is a lot easier. I don't know how the transfer process is here in Washington if you're going to a public school, but in California, it's quite complex and difficult.
Oh, really?
And stressful too. Because if you enroll at a community college and you want to transfer to a public school, there is a degree worksheet that you have to follow.
Right.
It's a very complex worksheet. You literally had to go to a class just to do that.
Figure it out.
Just to figure it out. There's so many prerequisites you need to take, so many classes you have to take. There's specific units that you have to complete in order to transfer. And most of the time, you're going to be fighting for those classes.
Right.
And majority of the students I know, they can't register for those classes. And there's so many prerequisites. Now the stress builds up, and now everyone's stressed out of their minds, right? And there's also a website called assist.org. Yeah. I believe you guys use it too, right?
Well, I think the transfer advisors do.
I
personally, but yeah.
Yes, the transfer advisors, and there's lists of classes you have to finish. So there's so many requirements that you have to finish in order just to transfer, right?
Right.
Which makes it stressful, difficult, and complex.
Yeah.
And also, if let's say you fail a class, you could register for a certain class, right? Then you have to start over. Or it prolongs your stay at a community college sometimes.
So to help with, because it can be complex, and especially, so if you start at Seattle colleges, we're on a quarter system. And in the United States, you're usually either on a quarter system or you're on a semester system. Seattle College is on a quarter system. Menlo College is on a semester system. Yeah. So you're kind of transferring from one type of system to another. Don't let that dissuade you from applying to a school like Menlo College, though, because we have transfer advisors that understand this and they will help you. Yeah. And if they don't have the answers right off the bat, they'll contact the school on your behalf. Yeah. You can also, and I totally recommend this to any student that I talk to, is start the process of reaching out to schools you're thinking about going to, whether it's Menlo College or some other school. Start talking to them directly because it'll just save you a lot of hassle down the road. Do the research, understand the process.
Yeah. My one advice to students who are in community college, definitely look ahead. Have target schools, even if you're just in your first semester, talk to the school you want to get into and talk to an advisor and have an ed plan from start to finish.
Yeah, great idea.
Yes, because if you do not, then it's going to be very, very stressful.
It can be stressful.
Yeah.
You're spending a lot of time and a lot of money, and you don't want to spend any more of either of those resources than you have to.
Yeah.
I know that I ended up going to school for 4.5 years just because I needed a few extra credits for certain things, where I know other people finish in 4 years. So I could have saved a half a year maybe if I had been a little more efficient, but just get out there and talk to all the different schools that you're thinking about.
Yeah, and definitely talk to an advisor early on. That helps so much.
Yeah, we have academic advisors that you'll work with to create an education plan for yourself, but we also have transfer advisors. So they'll help you understand that process. They'll help you do research or point you in the right direction anyway. We want you to self-advocate. We want you to be your own best resource. So, but the transfer advisors are there to help you understand, because this is the U.S., different world. Did you find when you got here that the U.S. was a lot different than?
Oh, yeah. It was such a shock.
Really?
Yeah, it was such a shock because the terms are different too. So here in America, what I noticed is the term majors and courses are different, because in my country, course is what you're majoring in. So if somebody asks me, okay, what's your course? I'm going to say, I do business. That means I'm a business major.
Okay.
Yeah. And classes, we just call them classes.
I've never heard that.
Because here in America, sometimes they call it courses, right? Also, it shocked me that here in America, you can actually pick your classes because, well, I don't know any other countries. So far, America is the only country I know where you can actually select your classes. And you have a say on how many classes you want to take or when you want to graduate. Because in other countries, it's super rigid, super strict.
Right.
If you major in physics, for example, right, you have a class from start to finish, and there's a stigma where if you fail a class, you fall behind and you get into a class with the younger kids, right? But here in America, it's not like that, because all classes are filled with freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, right? And you dictate your own pace here in America, which makes it a little bit easier. But you have to be disciplined too, because you want to make sure you're taking all the right classes.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah.
Right?
That's where an advisor can help you.
That's where an advisor comes in.
Or use a course catalog to map it out yourself or whatever. But so I'll temper what he said a little bit, because you can choose whatever you want, but understand that whatever major you choose, there will be a set number of classes you have to take to get that major. So while they say you have to at least take 3 English classes, you definitely are going to have to do the first 2 English classes, like 101, 102, or whatever the number is at your school. And then, maybe you get to choose. Maybe I'll take a world literature class, or I'll take Dickens, a class just on Charles Dickens or whatever. So you do get a little bit of say there.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of the two. But the sky is the limit. And you had changed majors 3 times. That's another thing to talk about, because in a lot of countries, man, once you get locked in, you're in.
Yeah.
But here, I don't want to be a geology major anymore. I want to study dance or whatever.
Yeah.
You can do that. And it costs you money and time.
Yeah.
But you can do it. So.
It's possible. My advice, though, if you are going to switch majors, definitely take a lot of GE classes in your first and sophomore year, because
good idea.
If you switch majors while you're taking GE classes, a lot of the classes you have taken will count towards graduation.
Right.
Compared to, let's say, you're a physics major and you've taken a lot of major classes or the upper division classes. By the time you transfer to a business major, a lot of those classes might not count towards graduation.
Right. Yeah. You don't want that.
Yeah. So it's always safe to first finish your GE classes first, so you have a lot of room to change.
And just for the listeners out there who don't know what GE stands for.
Oh, yeah. So GE is General Education classes.
General Education, yeah. In America, usually any major you do has a number of classes that doesn't matter if you go to Harvard or you go to a community college, you have to do those classes as part of your major work. So, but it's kind of cool because usually it's a wide variety of classes. Some schools will make you take physical education classes. Some schools will make you take English. Some will make you take, history or whatever. So there's always a set number.
Sure.
That's cool. So did you actually receive a diploma from De Anza?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
you
I
did?
Yeah.
And what was it in?
Associates in, oh no, let me try to remember this. Associates in liberal arts.
Oh, okay.
With an emphasis in business.
Gotcha.
That's how it's
Cool.
Yeah. That's how it's written.
Yeah. No, that's great. And then you had the choice after you finish at a community college, whether it's Seattle colleges or wherever, you can do OPT after that first year. Did you elect to do OPT?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually did not.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not. I went straight to getting a bachelor's.
Right.
Because it's probably a culture thing. We always have the stigma that you have to finish as soon as fast
Momentum,
as you can.
yeah.
Yeah, because at least in my country, not in all countries.
Sure.
If you're maybe around the age of 23 and 24, the pressure builds up
Right.
to finish college, right? And good thing I was on track, and I didn't want to delay my graduation. I just want to finish it as soon as I can. So that's why I enrolled.
Right.
Yeah.
But know out there, if you are listening and you are thinking of starting at a community college, one of the benefits of starting at a community college is after you finish those first 2 years, you do have the option of doing a year of OPT.
Yeah.
If you go straight to a 4-year, then you'll only get the one opportunity after you get your bachelor's degree. I mean, you can also do it after your master's degree or whatever, but that is one benefit for sure. Yeah. And then if you're a STEM major, of course, how many years can you do?
3 years.
They're up to 3 years, so it can be a really great deal. And if you're interested in extending out the time on your visa as long as possible, then you can do 2 years OPT, 2 years OPT. Yeah, it's a good deal. We don't have very many students. We have a few students from the Philippines, but not many. Do you guys have too many?
Actually, no. Philippines, there's not a lot of Filipino international students here. There's a lot of Filipinos in America,
That's
but
for sure.
majority are immigrants. Coming here as an international student, it's almost unheard of.
Well, how did you arrive at the decision to be an international student in the Philippines then?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I was when I wanted to come to the U.S., I was 16 or 17.
Oh, you were young.
So I know nothing. I didn't even know what an international student is. I don't know what a green card is, a permanent resident. I was a young kid, very naive. I thought once you come to America, you can that's it.
Hang out.
You just arrive at the country and that's it. I did not know.
Not the way it works.
That's not how the way it works. But I had to learn it the hard way.
Sure.
So I came to America as an international student thinking, okay, cool, I'm here in America. That's it. No rules and regulation, right? But as soon as I went to orientation, did more research, I'm like, oh, there's actually restrictions in me coming
For
here.
sure.
And I guess that's bad research on my end because I should have known this before coming here. But I just had no clue.
And your parents were all on board with you, like, yeah, you want to go to the U.S., go ahead.
Yeah.
They were? Cool. Have they been students in the U.S.?
No, actually, no. So it was my mom that helped me.
Okay.
Because she knows that I wanted to come to America because college for a better education too. So that's why she sent me.
Okay.
And
Cool.
in Asia, especially at least in my country, getting an education outside of your country, that's a big bonus.
Oh, okay.
It gives you an edge almost. It gives you an edge compared to students
Somebody
that
who went to
there.
like the University of
Exactly.
Manila or whatever.
Exactly. I do think that's pretty similar to most country in the East. That's also one of the big reasons why they come here to America. Because getting that Western experience does a lot to your personality and who you are as a person. So when you come back home, you're different.
We corrupt you.
You get that edge.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, we do good things. It's good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. So you came, you did your first 2 years, then you transferred. So let's talk a little bit about the transfer process.
Yes.
So you went from a community college in California over, we're at Seattle colleges. Maybe we'll have a student or two here that are thinking, hey, that sounds cool. Start in Seattle, then go down to San Francisco area, which, by the way, I have 3 favorite cities in the United States. New York,
Okay.
Seattle, but also the Bay Area. I
Bay
love
Area.
San Francisco. It's a
Exactly.
great area. So, you could start in Seattle, which is an amazing city, and then go down, stay in the Bay Area, which is awesome. And then you get really 2 different, it's all West Coast, so you're still kind of in a progressive, politically kind of part of the world.
Yeah.
I would argue that it's a little more welcoming of foreigners out on the West Coast rather than other parts of the U.S. I know I'm going to get a little hate mail from the East Coasters out there. But no, it's good to come to the West Coast. We have a very cosmopolitan set of cities along the coastline that has, like, we have a huge Asian community here in Seattle, but we also have a lot of Africans and lots of Latin Americans. So I'm guessing it's the same way.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So let's talk about the transfer process.
Cool.
What should they do?
So this is one of the biggest benefits to going to a private college because the transfer process is a lot easier. This goes back to our conversation earlier about assist.org and the degree worksheet, right? So if you're transferring to a private college like Menlo, you don't need any of that. It's very simple. All you need to do is apply, send in your transcript. Depending on, this is specific to Menlo. Once you submit your application and your transcript, we should be able to issue a decision within 2 weeks.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
Yes, we're pretty fast.
Is there a deadline? They have to get it in by a certain time?
So there's a deadline for the application.
Okay.
So for spring applicants, it's going to be December 10.
Okay.
That's a soft deadline. And then for fall applicants, it's going to be July 15.
Oh, that's quite late, actually.
Quite late. Yep.
Oh, that's good to know.
The reason why we try to extend our deadlines because we're a small college, so we have a very personalized admissions process. So that means if you apply, we can work really, really fast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because if you reach out to me saying, hey, I need to transfer ASAP, I'll prioritize your application.
Right.
I'll try to get you in within like 10 days if I can.
That's crazy.
So
they have to pay an application fee?
No, application is free. Yeah.
What? And then what about a personal essay?
Personal essay is not a requirement, but it is recommended.
Oh, okay.
But usually once you apply, there's a high likelihood that I'm going to hop on a phone call with you because I want to make sure, if Menlo is the right fit. I want to see your goals, what you're majoring in, just to know you as a person and see if there's a good fit. Right. And that kind of counts as your personal essay because I'm already getting to know about you.
Sure, yeah. Wow, that's cool.
And then once they submit their application and their transcript and they get accepted, I will be sending the student a document called a TCE, which is a very scary term, but it's called Transfer Credit Evaluation.
Oh,
but
sure.
what it is it's a document that will highlight all the classes that have been transferred over to our school.
Okay.
And it will also show you all the classes you need to take at Menlo in order to graduate. So it's super straightforward.
Super helpful.
Yeah. So before you even commit to Menlo, you're going to be able to see all the classes you need to take in order to graduate. And then you can decide, okay, I need 60 credits. How long is that going to take me? How many credits do I want to take per semester?
Right.
So you already have like a sense of how long you're going to stay and how much workload you're going to have.
Right.
Which is a big determining factor, right? If you're considering a college.
Do you have summer sessions as well, or is it just fall, spring?
We have summer session, but we do not have a summer intake.
Okay, that makes sense. So if you're there, you start in the fall, you can take classes in the spring, and you can take classes in the summer.
Yes.
Are there two summer sessions, or is there just one big one?
Just one summer session.
And how long is it? More condensed?
It is more condensed, yes.
Yeah.
So
a little faster pace.
It's a faster pace. I believe it's also the same for other colleges.
The University of Arizona, where I went to school, they had 2 summer sessions, and they were very compressed. So at least this was back in the day. So I don't know if they do that now, but it was much shorter, much more intense.
Much more intense, yeah.
I tried it, and then I was like, no, I just want to relax over the summer.
Yeah.
But some students, they just want to go through.
I know, because I think you need to take like 4 or 5 hour classes, right, per day. Yeah,
mine weren't that long, but the homework was pretty intense. And, I was already tired from the springs. Think about the semester system. Some people love semester systems. Some people love quarter systems. It kind of depends. I liked the semester system, but the spring semester does feel long. Whereas if you have 3 quarters, to me, it feels short. You do 3 short, and then you're always switching, which is kind of nice in a way. But I also like the semester system because you kind of get into your subject a little more deeply, which is cool.
Yeah.
So both have their advantages and disadvantages.
Me, I think I like semester system a little bit better, at least for me, because class registration used to stress me out so much.
That is complicated. Yeah,
it used to stress me out a lot. But again, to each their own.
Well, what happens with a school that only has like 800 students? Everybody's going to have to take first year English, right? So do they, if classes are filled up, do they add more classes, or do they just, what do they do?
Usually they add more classes, but based on, this is coming from personal experience. The good thing about Menlo, I never had to stress about registering for classes because there's always a spot. Which is a nice thing.
That is nice.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most of, I'm not sure if it's here in Washington, but when I used to go to De Anza, when we register for classes, we have to set up a timer.
Oh my gosh.
Because everyone's racing
trying to get in
for a specific class, especially if they're CS major, at least in De Anza. Some colleges in California, it's a little bit easier, but depending on the population, it can be very stressful.
It can be stressful at Seattle colleges too, because sometimes there are limited spots for certain classes. Yeah. And if you register late, then some of those classes are full. One advantage of Seattle colleges, though, is that we have 3 campuses. So if you can't find it here at Seattle Central, maybe you go to North to take the class that you need, or you go to South. So that is, De Anza has multiple campuses?
No, just one.
It's just the one. Okay.
And they have a lot of students.
Right.
Yeah.
Now there are others like Portland Community College. I think they have multiple campuses as well. Okay. So I don't know how it works there, but they may be under the same kind of thing.
Yeah. And the good thing about Menlo too is if you are a senior, if you are an athlete and you're about to graduate, you get priority registration.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, just ease the stress off your back.
Well, let's talk about what everybody always asks about first. Usually when I'm touring and I'm talking to students, the first question out of their mouths is, how much is it? Or the other question is, do you have scholarships? Now, you already started talking about scholarships. Let's talk tuition first, and then let's talk about the transfer scholarship that you got.
Okay.
Is it still available? And then if not, what is available now? So let's start with tuition. All in, that's housing, food, tuition and fees, all in. What do you got to put on your financial statement for acceptance?
So with 0 scholarships, which is highly unlikely, because 90% of our students receive scholarships.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. And so assuming there's 0 scholarship, it's going to be $79,000.
Okay.
Now, that includes tuition, housing, additional fees. With the average scholarship, it goes down to $50K a year.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But we have a special scholarship for international transfers for spring 25. So we have a cost matching scholarship. Now, there's no specific number because what we're going to do is we are going to price match whatever you're paying at your current college.
Oh.
So we're going to take your cost of attendance, and based off your cost of attendance, we're going to determine what type of scholarship we're going to give you so that your cost of attendance will be the same. So
I've never heard that before.
Exactly. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah. So you're technically getting a bachelor's degree at a price of a community college. And this is only for international students who are transfers and who wants to transfer for the spring.
Well, that's really compelling.
Yep.
Check it out. What about if they come for fall? Is this just something you guys come up with each quarter, or?
For fall, it's possible. So now I can't speak for fall 25
sure, it's too early.
Because our scholarship gets updated. But I have seen some people who did receive the same scholarship in fall 2024 at least.
Right.
For fall 25, we're not sure if it's going to be there.
Okay.
Hopefully, knock on wood, it's still there.
Yeah,
but as of now, we don't know.
Interesting. Wow. Okay, so now we know how much it costs. And you said that all in includes food and housing. So when students come over to Menlo, where do they live? What kind of housing situation do you have?
Good question. So 90% of our students live on campus.
Okay.
Yes. So we do offer...
Are they required?
They're not required.
Okay.
But it's highly recommended, and it's probably the best option for them.
Wow, okay.
Because first off, like I said, 90% of our students are on campus. Food is already included. You don't need to pay separately for food.
Like you have cafeterias or... Okay.
You have a cafeteria. It's a buffet type of cafeteria.
Oh, okay.
Laundry, utilities, all included. So there's no more headaches. and it's a 15-second walk to campus.
It's really close.
So there's really, they're not required, but if you think about it, there's no reason for them to live off campus because of the convenience.
Sure, yeah.
And the price as well.
Right. Huh. You said buffet style. I'm curious, do they cater to halal? Do they have vegetarian options? I mean, this is California, so I'm guessing they do.
Yes.
But yeah, okay,
that is correct. We have a big Islamic population too from Central Asia, and we want to make sure we cater to those students, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do have a lot of options.
Cool.
Dietary options.
So housing. So we talked about scholarships and tuition. That's always the big thing. We're getting close to the end of our time together, so I want to make sure you have time to convey something I haven't covered. Like, what is your business psychology focused. What would be some examples of things that they would be especially interesting for students that are thinking about coming there? I don't know, maybe specific programs that are especially unique or especially... like, for example, at North Seattle College, we have a watch technology program. It's only one of two in all of North America.
Technology?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? And we're the only one that accepts international students. So do you guys have anything unique like that or something that you guys are really well known for?
Well, no. Oh, yes, definitely our big three, or I named it myself. Accounting, finance, and business analytics. Those are probably the best majors you can pursue if you're an international student and if you're in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So I want to dive into our accounting and finance graduates because majority of our students who major in those two studies, they get into the big four accounting firms. That's almost a culture in our school just because we have so many alums and those firms directly recruit from our school. So we've had a lot of students get their OPT and their CPT as well in those companies. And a lot of our students get into those companies in their junior year as an intern. And even before they graduate, they get a job offer already.
So as a junior, that would be CPT?
CPT, yes.
And maybe you could explain to people what CPT stands for, because maybe some people don't know.
Oh, yes. So CPT is curricular practical training. So it allows you to work off campus, maybe for an organization, a company, nonprofit, or whatever, for a period of 2 months, 2 to 3 months in the summer. Yes.
But you get paid.
And you can get paid.
And get credit, don't you?
And get credit, yes. Oh, yeah. I also wanted to dive into that. So our internship program is mandatory for all our juniors.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And on top of that, they're not only getting their work experience and a salary, they're also getting 6 class credits on top of it.
That's really great, actually.
Yeah.
But here's the question I have. Is it real work? Are they just photocopying things? Or do they actually get to put to work what they're studying?
Yes, 100%.
That's awesome.
So while they're in their internship program, they're technically enrolled in a class as well. But that class that they're enrolled in is only once a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And I believe from what I remember when I did it, it was only an hour to 2 hours every Friday.
Oh, that's good.
But if you think about it, that's 6 class credits. That's technically 2 classes you're finishing.
So that's CPT. Going back to money, actually makes me think a lot of our international students find jobs on our campus to help pay for their schooling.
Yeah.
Do you guys allow international students to work on your campus?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So it's actually a lot easier in our college to find jobs for international students.
Gotcha.
And that's because we have an app called Handshake.
Oh.
I'm not sure how it is.
I think we do too. I just don't know much about it.
Okay. Because I know some colleges, for international students to work, they have to be a lot more proactive. They have to walk into the departments, ask if they're hiring, look at bulletins, see if there's any postings,
Talk to their buddies.
But in our college, it's a little bit more easier because if there's a big hiring that's going on, they send out emails to students.
Gotcha.
And we have an app called Handshake where you're going to see all the job openings on campus that you can apply for.
Oh, that's cool.
You can have one resume and apply to like 10 jobs.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's really good to know. Okay, so going back to OPT, CPT, you did it then. You did this. Where did you do your CPT at?
I did my CPT at a sales firm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I did sales. It was B2B sales. I was selling Wi-Fi and internet.
Was it hard?
It was hard, yeah.
Was it?
Sales is one of those jobs that are very hard but very rewarding. And I do think it's also one of the best skills you can learn, especially in the workplace.
So when they paid you for CPT, do they pay you hourly wage or do they do commissions? What do they do?
Both of them.
Oh, you got both.
You got both. So,
Sweet.
yeah, I did. That's probably the most amount of money I made when I was a student.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, so let's get to the more fun stuff. Like if I live at Menlo College and I go to school there, what am I going to be able to do for fun? Like if I want to go downtown, I want to go to San Francisco, maybe go catch a 49ers game or, see the Giants play. Is it easy to get around?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk to this based on my experience. So from what I've done when I was a student and from what I've observed, there's multiple places people go to based on the time of the week. So during the weekdays, we're very close to downtown Redwood City and downtown Palo Alto. It's about I want to say a 5 to 10 minute drive.
Oh, that's really close.
During the weeknights, that's when students go if they want to go off campus. And then once Friday night hits or the weekends, that's when they go to San Francisco. Okay. Because a little bit further, it's a 40-minute drive. And usually they go in a car or they take the Caltrain. Now, Caltrain is 10 minutes away from campus, and it can literally take you from the most northern part of the Bay Area all the way down south.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's different than, what do they call it? Bay Area Transit. BART.
Yes. BART, I'm familiar on the... I'm quite unfamiliar on the routes.
Okay.
But I know you can go to San Jose, Milpitas, Berkeley, Livermore... But I'm very unfamiliar because I've never ridden BART.
Gotcha.
But Caltrain is a lot better, I would say, because it hits up all the major spots in the Bay Area.
I don't even know this.
Yeah.
I lived in Monterey for a while, went to school there. So we would sometimes come up to Palo Alto. We'd go to, on the weekend, we were military, so we wanted to go find parties. And we would go up to like Stanford University, go on campus and look for parties. I didn't even know Menlo College was there.
Patio?
So.
Downtown Palo Alto?
Patio?
Have you went there?
Patio, what's that?
The Patio. It's a place where a lot of the students go to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this was back in the 80s.
Okay.
Dates me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what was there. We usually would try to jump through windows at frat parties or whatever.
That still happens to this day.
It
still happens to this day.
Yeah, it's a great way to go. But we also would go to San Francisco as well. Because we wanted to go. I was a Chinese linguist in the military, so we would go up to Chinatown and hang out. Yeah. And it was always a really good time.
That's more most of the time for the weekends.
Yes, for sure.
Weekends and a Friday night, I would say.
How many acres on your campus?
Oh, I actually do not know.
I don't know that.
We're a very small campus, but I don't know the
But, I mean, you have sports teams, so it must be big enough to accommodate fields. And
yes, we have a baseball field, a track and field, tennis courts, and a basketball court.
Okay.
And a softball field.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were to walk from one end of your campus to the other, how long would it take you?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say a good 10 minutes.
Okay. So it's pretty good size then.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, anything else you want to convey before we go? I mean, we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
But we have to cut it off at some point. You have a website. Let's give the listeners your website so they can at least do their own research.
Yep. You can just type in Menlo College on Google or www.menlo.edu.
Cool. Yeah. And they can contact you directly and get information.
Yep. Are you able to put my email down on this video?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I can do that.
So here's my email.
Be in the description area.
Description.
Yeah.
Yep. So like I said, we... since we're a private college, our admissions process is very personalized.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Yeah.
The first step you can take is literally either submit an application form on our website, which is free, or literally just email me. Once I get your message, I'll walk you through the entire admissions process from A to Z. The moment you send email or text message until you arrive on campus, I will help you out along the way.
Right. So kind of a breakdown of the international students you have currently. Do they tend to mostly come from a certain part of the world, or are they from all over?
All over. So right now we're representing 41 different countries.
Oh, wow.
And our top 6 countries are China, Japan, France, Italy, Germany, and Spain.
Oh, no. Oh, these are athletes, I'll bet.
A lot of athletes.
Yeah, that's
a
cool.
lot of athletes, yeah.
Wow, cool.
And our Central Asia has been growing recently.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Post 2021, we've had a lot of Central Asians too. Usually it happened through word of mouth.
Right,
I remember recruiting this kid from Uzbekistan, and because of him, we had an extra 8 who got to Menlo.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, it helps that you have a medalist there. That's really unique. That's very cool. Wow. Well, so glad you're here. Thanks for coming to the transfer fair. Thanks for agreeing to do the podcast.
Of course.
It's been great meeting you both online and in person, even better. Can a student, it's easy, I've interviewed regional schools like Bellingham has Western Washington, University of Oregon's down in Eugene, but on a weekend, these guys can just cruise up to Bellingham to go look at the campus. If they wanted to go out of their way to drive all the way to San Francisco or take Amtrak or whatever, can they tour the campus? Are there tours that they can take?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Okay.
So you can there's actually a tab on the website where you can schedule a campus tour.
Oh, there you go.
And not only a physical campus tour, we do online campus tours.
Oh, that's good to know.
So, yes, if you cannot drive to California, if you're somewhere around the world, you can schedule a Zoom campus tour.
Oh, that's cool.
And it will be hosted by one of our student ambassadors.
Oh, right on.
So not only are you going to get a tour, you can also have a conversation one-on-one with a current student.
That's really cool.
So,
All right, guys. Well, thanks again. Good to meet you in person.
All right.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Check out Menlo College. Consider community college transfer down to Menlo. San Francisco is a wonderful part of the world. I love Seattle, but if I didn't live here, I might consider that part of the world. It's really great. Check us out every Wednesday right here. Seattle College's Conversations With. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Conversations With is painstakingly crafted for you by the Seattle College's International Programs Department and supported by the lovely folks here on our campus. This show is produced and edited by me, Evan Franulovich. We welcome your emails and questions about coming to Seattle Colleges. Please reach out to us via our website or just give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, as this helps others discover the show. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube at Seattle Colleges INTL. That's Seattle Colleges INTL. And be sure to check out all of the shows here on Conversations With. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.